Hello friends, am I audible to all of you? Just let me know in the comment section. Am I audible to all of you in the live chat? Hello, am I audible? Glad to see you too, Dollar. Good to see you again. If I am audible, please write yes audible before I start. Yes audible. If I am audible, please write yes audible. Yes, it's very happy to see you all again. Hi all. Good. Fine. So guys, as you all know, the topic for today's meetup is robotic process automation. So, what do you understand by robotic process automation? I mean, does any one of you know what is RPA? Have you ever heard of this term? And if you ever heard of this term, in short, in a single line, if you can tell me anything about RPA, that would be great. In a single line, whatever you think, or if you don't have any idea, just write, sir, I really don't know anything about RPA. So it is very important that I judge my audience before I start delivering. Yep, so Palani says UI path. Okay. Automate repeated task. Shweta says good. Sangeeta says don't know. Neeta Prasad, automate the manual task without human intervention. Robot handle the human work, as Shrikant says, and used to reduce human efforts. Repetitive task for a robot to automate. Good, good, good. So I see a lot of good information coming from your side. So it is very nice to see that you all know to some point what is robotic process automation. So before I start with the session, let me show you the agenda for the day. So it is going to be a very short session today, maybe around next 35-40 minutes maximum. So what is going to be the agenda for the day is having you a quick dive into RPA so that you can finalize whether you can choose RPA as a career or not. So what am I going to show you today? I'm going to bombard you with some presentations explaining you the significance of RPA, where it is used, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. And at the end, I am going to show you demonstration of a live project of RPA. So the moment you look at the project, you actually get an idea whether you should explore this area or not. So let me show you the agenda once again. So here we are going to understand what is robotic process automation. How is RPA different from other enterprise automation tools? What all can RPA do? What are the robots best suited for? So all of these questions are going to be answered in this webinar itself. How does the RPA work? What processes are relevant to the robotic process automation? Does RPA really achieve results? Because that is the pain point. If it is achieving results, then only it makes sense to go for RPA, else no one will use this technology. What are the business benefits for RPA? Because unless and until there are any revenue generation out of it, no company will think of deploying the RPA team. There are going to be some key takeaways in the session. Then automation is the future of the work. We are going to understand why is that really important. Followed by the first three pronged approach. And then we are going to study last few points, where are the robots existing today, and the top three leading industry RPA tools. So these all are going to be the actual agenda, guys. So let's tackle each of them one by one. So before I start with this, let me define RPA for you. As some of you rightly said that RPA is used for automation. So let me have a very simplistic definition of RPA for you. So let's start with what is robotic process automation. Now, RPA is a technology that allows a computer program Now understand, I have written over here clearly it is a computer program or a robot. Now whenever I say robot, it is not truly a robot. Whenever we are automating any particular task, we say that we have robotized the task, and the person who does this task, that is the machine over here, is called as the robot. So we say RPA is a technology that allows computer program or robot to replicate otherwise manual tasks done by humans in an automated, repeatable and reliable manner, just like human. Now let me simplify the thing to the very granular level for you. Now we all must have seen in the local trains there are advertisements. Just a second. Network है. We all have seen in the local trains that there are advertisements stuck all over wherein you can work from home for the simple data entry task, and you will be gaining around 20,000 additional income just by working 2 hours per day. So what do you exactly see over here? Now what are the tasks that are given over there? A simple task that we can see over there could be, they can show you maybe an Excel file like this is the project that we are going to do, or rather I'll be demonstrating it to you. So they have basically collected record of students. As you can see, these are record of people. We can say company name, role, address, so on and so forth, and they have their website, and on their website there are going to be the same tab. So there is going to be a tab for company name, role in the company, address of the company, email and phone number. And what you have to do is, we have to simply open that particular website, click on insert record, and after inserting a record you have to copy paste this IT solution over there, role in company over here, address, email, phone number, and then you have to say add the record. Once that record is added, then you have to add one more record for this person. Once this is added, you add this, and in this way this task is going to consist of 50,000 to 1 lakh to 50 lakh records. So your task is to simply copy paste this Excel file data into their website. What is the advantage of that? The data which is now there in the Excel file is stored in a structured form on their website. That is the advantage. Okay, so now we can see that this is quite a monotonous task. By monotonous, I simply mean that we are repeating the task again and again, and RPA is going to tackle this thing very beautifully. So what is RPA going to do? RPA is automatically going to pick up the values from this Excel file and paste it into the website. So this is something that we are going to see when we go for the project. So let's get started once again with the presentation. So let me define RPA once again for you. So as I told you, RPA is a technology that allows computer program or a robot to replicate otherwise manual tasks. So whatever task that humans used to do now, RPA would be doing that in an automated, repeatable and reliable manner, just like a human. Now let me tell you guys, RPA is the technology that allows anyone to configure the computer software or a robot to emulate and integrate the actions of human interacting with the digital systems to execute any business process. So basically RPA robots utilize the UI to capture the data, and they can manipulate the application just like human beings do. They can interpret, they can trigger the responses, they can communicate with other systems, and they can do a lot of things. And the best part of robots is that a RPA software robot will never sleep and will make zero mistakes and will always be eager to do more and more. So that is the advantage of robot, guys. Now let us see how is RPA different from other enterprise automation tool. Now in contrast to the other traditional IT solutions that we had, RPA allows the organization to automate at a fraction of cost. Just understand, we are automating the thing just by spending some amount for the automation, and of course we are also reducing the time which we used to previously encounter as large. RPA is non-intrusive in nature, and it also leverages the existing infrastructure without disruption of the underlying system. So whatever technology you are working on, you can just keep on working on the technology, and that thing will not be disrupted, and the same thing can be automated by the system. So because of this, the advantage is the cost efficiency and the compliance is going to be the best advantage over here. And now it is no longer dependent on the operating system, but it is basically a byproduct of the automation or the automated task. So now let me show you some of the ways in which how RPA will be different from other enterprise automation tools. First and foremost thing, it has fast benefit realization. So you will immediately realize that you have actually saved a lot on the time. So all of these benefits will be immediately reflected when you see a project which I'll be showing you at the end. The next one is minimal upfront investment. You don't have to really invest a very huge amount in RPA. A small investment and lifetime reduction of monotonous manual repetitive tasks. No disruption to the underlying systems, and it is led by business with support from IT. So whatever goes wrong, there are always a team of RPA developers to help you along. And lastly, the most important thing, it is highly scalable. So be your data entry task be very enormous in nature, RPA will smoothly scale it. Next, what all can RPA do for us? Now guys, understand this thing. What all can RPA do? First and foremost thing, RPA can open our emails and attachments, and it can get the data from email and put it anywhere we want. One application. So this could be one robot that we can build using robotic process automation. Another possibility could be we can also log into applications. So we can have a robot that can actually logs into my Instagram account, checks for the news feed, and if I am stalking any particular person and if that person has entered or posted anything on the Instagram profile, I will immediately get a notification. And now this thing is autonomous, and this notification would be via a mail. So all this thing would be automated. So imagine I am stalking a person, he posts something on the Instagram profile, my robot will automatically see the feed on the Instagram, see if any feed belongs to that particular person. If that person has that particular has posted anything, we can see that post as a notification in my mailbox. So now that was again a example which I just gave. We are not going to use it for such destructive work, of course, but this is one of the application for RPA. Now RPA can also be used to check your emails. Maybe you want to continuously keep a track of if your boss is happening to mail you and you immediately want a notification for that, you can have a robotic process automation. If you want to enter data from a PDF file into your database, you can have the robot to do that. You did not keep any people over there manually for doing the task. Then RPA can also read from the database. So whatever data you have stored into the database, my robot can read it. My robot can also collect the data. So it can be also used as a inquiry person. Most important, your RPA follows the if-then decision process. So this is important. And lastly, it can also fill in your Google form. So today I'll be showing you an example where a form would be filled by taking the data from the CSV file. So I'll just show you in short. Just let me open my browser. So okay, so I'm visiting this website rpachallenge.com, and you can see over here this is the challenge. So the goal over here, this is the project that I'm going to demonstrate to you today. What is seen over here? They say the goal of this challenge is to create a workflow that will input the data from spreadsheet. That is, The CSV file which I showed you, I'm talking of the CSV file, guys, this challenge.xls. So we are going to pick up the data cell by cell, row by row from the CSV file, and then we are going to paste it over here. So you can see over here we have the tabs role in the company, phone number, last name, first name, company name, address, email, and submit. So what are we going to do over here is we are going to simply take one record. So I take John, I copy, and I paste John in the first name. Then the next manual task will I'll do is I'll take Smith, I will copy, I will put Smith in the last name. Let me do it for IT solutions, company name. So I have this company name over here, I paste it. Next I have analyst, and there is analyst, just let me see what is that role in the company. So role in the company can be pasted over here as analyst. Then we have address, so this will be going over here. Then we have the email ID of this person that goes here. Lastly, now pay 100% attention, guys. I have entered the phone number. Okay, now observe over here what I have done is I have entered data just for one record. Okay, observe over here my role of the company is here, my email is over here. Just observe the structure of this. Now when I submit it, you will realize that everything gets shuffled. I submit, and after submitting, did you see the role in the company has come over here and the entire look of the page has changed, right? Now if you are requesting a machine to do the task for us, and if everything is changed and the record and this role in the company was not followed by first name, but it has now shuffled itself, right? So everything is being changed over here. Now again what I have to do, I will go over here, I will copy the second record one by one, and I will be pasting this record in this, and finally I will be clicking on submit. Now what we have to do over here is we have to take these records one by one and submit all of these 10 records. Now all of these 10 records will be submitted one by one, and then the challenge starts. Okay, so your task is to automate this process. So what are we going to do is we are going to click on start. The challenge is going to start. We are going to enter over here, and then we are going to click submit. Now next, once again this opens, copy the second record, once again click submit. You can see everything is shuffled. Once again I click submit. Now the things are again shuffled. Once again click submit. In this way I have to fill the data and click on submit again and again. And at the end, this RPA challenge website is going to tell us in how much time were we able to do the task. So now we are very sure that it is going to be very difficult for a human to complete this task in fraction of seconds, but my robot can do it, and that is what we are going to see in the project, guys. So any queries so far, guys? Any queries so far? Do you have any queries so far? Have you understood what are we going to do in the project? Okay, that will give you a real feel of the project. So Ankita says Selenium also can do this, right? Well, I'm not very sure about Selenium, and RPA is altogether a different field. So Selenium, I don't think this will be able to, Selenium will be able to do it. Then how is RPA related to AI ML? I'll come to that. We are at the start of this. So is there any relation between RPA and ML? Yes, I'll be coming to that. Understood, proceed. Okay, fine. Now let me go ahead. So I'm closing this. I'm also closing this. Coming back to our presentation. So as we saw over here, following all are the things that RPA can do. Now apart from that, RPA can also we can say play with the solutions or allow organization to do more with less, minimizing risk through increased visibility and audit trails. So typically over here we can say the robot can automate or operate 3 times faster than human workers. Now let us see what over here in the next, what are robots best suited for. Now whenever you talk of robots, robots are best suited for the tasks that are repetitive, rule based in nature, and they all incorporate a structured digital data in the workplace, or we can say it is used as a labor intensive task, right? So maybe whenever we say we have a problem for solving an exception or handling any troubleshooting, at that time RPA can beautifully handle the task for us. Now a few real life example as you can see where RPA could be used in a bank for would be for payment processing, invoice management, reporting and reconciliation. Now the next one, how does the robotic process automation work? Now whenever you talk of robotic process automation, we should know that RPA is all about creating software robots. It is not hardware robots. So RPA robots are capable of mimicking many, if not all of course, many human user actions. So what all are the things that RPA can do for us? So RPA can log into any application. As I gave you the example of Instagram, RPA can connect to system APIs. RPA can copy and paste the data. This is the application that we are going to do today. Copy and paste the data. RPA can move the files and folders. So we can have the copy paste operation done by the robotic process tool. RPA can extract and process structured data and semi-structured data. It can be from documents, PDFs, emails and forms. It can read and write to the databases. Lastly, RPA can also open emails and attachments. Okay, now, yes, there are a few more. It can also scrape the data from the web. So let's say we want to find out data from Wikipedia or something, RPA can do that for us. And RPA can also make mathematical calculations for us. So maybe calculating whether a company is getting profited or not can be an automated task. We did not deploy humans over here for doing that particular task. Now coming on to the very important thing, and that is what processes are relevant to RPA. Essentially any high volume. So whenever you see, if you have just 5 to 6 records or 20 to 30 records, you will never go for automating the task. But the moment you say you have 50 lakh records to be copied from one place to another, maybe from a CSV file to your company's website or or any other place, at that time you will be requiring a robot, because deploying humans for doing the task is really going to be very time consuming, and therefore we require RPA, and we say that it is essentially any high volume business rule driven repeatable process qualifies for automation. Now the next important thing, very important thing, here I'll be giving you three important we can say I am going to show you three important ways in which RPA has really proved to be a boon in the IT industry. Not essentially IT in all. So does RPA really achieve results? Now coming on to the first one. RPA can be used to implement fast, it can be used to build the robots fast, and the return on investment is quite fast. Now let me give you an example for making you understand this. Now an HR service provider from Europe was processing, understand this example very clear, very carefully, listen to me very carefully. There was a HR service provider from Europe that was processing 2500 sick leave applications per month. So it was a company which was processing 2500 sick leave applications per month, and for handling each application on an average it used to take 4 minutes. So per month they were handling 2500 applications, and for handling each application they were requiring 4 minutes, and that was by humans. So within 3 weeks, what they did is they implemented a RPA solution in their company, and they were able to automate 90% of their task. So 90% of their entire work got automated. Now the advantage of this is that the RPA robot now extracts the data from the transaction in the SAP, inserts the information into the customer system, and also prints it. The HR service provider achieved a return on investment just within 6 months, with an error rate reduced to 0%, and manual effort got reduced to 5%. So previously they were wasting 95% of their energy just in doing analysis of each and every sick leave application, and now it was reduced by 95%. Now they just have 5% of manual intervention, and all of the task was automated, and the processing time for each of the application reduced by almost 80%. So just imagine, previously they used to take 4 minutes for one application. Now it got reduced to 80% of 4. That is, it is just 3.2, right? Let me give you one more example. RPA can reduce the effort in the back office. Now, for that, I like to take the example of a global retailer. So, there was a global retailer which was using the store's closing report. So, we'll just take an example of DMart or Walmart store. So, what does this DMart or Walmart have? They have their stores all over the country or all over the world. And at the end of every day, they have to check how much amount of inventory is there in the store and how much amount of inventory has been sold off to the customer. Why do they have to do all this thing? Just to replenish the stock, right? So we say there was a global retailer company, just an example, that was using its store closing reports to validate the closing information. Sorry. So it was using it for validating the closing information, checking the registers for hundreds of the stores located throughout the country. Now, the store's employees previously used a manual and sluggish approach to pull up these reports. So they had to take the reports from each and every store located all over their country, take them, gather them, and analyze that particular task. Now, what did they do? They automated the process and they freed up its employee to now focus more on customer centric activities to see which products are getting sold more, why are they getting sold more, is there any correlation in between the products. So the RPA robots can now actually move the closing reports exactly to one server, read those reports, consolidate all the required information, and do this task automatically. So that was one more advantage of this. And lastly but not the least, RPA has also proved to achieve really good results in improving the customer service in the front office. So for that, I'll be giving you an example of a travel credit insurance company. Now this company had around 50,000 clients worldwide. Okay, and this company basically automated the credit limit request underwriting process. So previously, let's say I have a credit card and the limit for that credit card is 1 lakh rupees per month, and I want to upgrade it to 5 lakh. So people like me used to drop an email to the company, and the company used to process it in a week or 3-4 days time and reverting back to me. Now this task was taking a lot of time. Now with the RPA tool, when this company actually automated this manual task from their internal, that is the risk and policy department, to external, maybe customer side experience, they observed that they saved around 2500 hours of human work per month. So every month they could save 2500 of human efforts. and now these employees can use this time to work directly with the customer. So that is the advantage of robotic process automation, guys. Now let me show you one more interesting figure. What processes are relevant to RPA? So RPA is not only related to your IT industry, but you can see in this slide that it is related to industry, banking and financial services, insurance, healthcare, manufacturing, high tech and energy sector. This is my finance and accounting, procurement, human resource, contact, and industry specialization. Let's see where all is the high potential for RPA. So you can see over here, this area is high potential for RPA. So banking and financial sector in FNA, and it is also having high importance in card activation and fraud claims discovery. So finding out who is claiming fraud, robots can do it for us. Then it is also having a good application in insurance sector, health sector, and in the manufacturing, finance and automation sector. So these are the portions where RPA really has very high significance. I hope that makes sense. Why is RPA very important in today's era? Any questions from your side? Any questions from your side? Are the things going so far clear? Okay. So let me proceed. So yes, there is a question. There is a question from Easy Hacks. How RPA can help in the insurance sector? So as you can see over here, RPA is used for claim processing. So maybe I bumped my car to some other car and I want to file an I want to file it inside the insurance claim. So what do? I go to the company. I say I have bumped my car and I want to file this under the insurance. So I'll be submitting an email to the company with the photos of the car where the dent has occurred, so on and so forth. Now the company will take 2 to 3 days for going through my mail. After going through the mail, they'll be telling me whether the claim is approved or not. Now just imagine, had there been any robot available over there, immediately a new mail is being sent to that particular email ID. The robot goes through that mail, looks at the picture and automatically takes a decision whether the claim will be approved or not. That is the advantage over there. We did not really have a human intervention to see whether a claim has to be approved or not. That is the advantage in insurance sector, and it can also be used for new business preparation. Now going ahead, what are the business benefits of RPA? Now we should understand, guys, that robots are here to stay. The faster you harvest their potential, the faster you create a competitive edge for your business. RPA delivers direct profitability and it also improves on the accuracy across the organizations. So the moment you say you are going to enable RPA to handle any process, it is going to transform and streamline your organization's workflow, and it will allow for a very high and superior scalability of your business. And the advantage over here is that the software robots are easy to train and they integrate seamlessly into the application. They can multiply, it can be used for it can be used for multiple tasks. They can be trained instantly, they can be instantly deployed, and they constantly report on their progress so as they become bigger and bigger. And that is the reason it helps a lot for the companies, and therefore we say RPA is really doing very well today. It has direct profitability while improving the accuracy. It can transform your organization, right? So we can see over here, it can transform your organization and streamline the organization's workflow. It has superior scalability and flexibility within the enterprise. Lastly, better accuracy. Now, robotic process automation software robots are programmed to follow rules. So they have been simply trained that copy this record, paste it over there, copy that record, paste it over there, and keep on repeating that task. So they never get tired, they never make mistakes, and they are compliant and consistent. The next one, they can also be used for improving the compliance. By that we mean once the robots are instructed, these robots can execute reliably, reducing the risk. Everything they do is monitored. You have the entire control to operate according to the existing rules and the standards that you have set while creating that particular robot. Next one, we have fast cost saving. So my RPA robots can reduce the cost by around 80%, as we saw in the previous slides. Next we have, it is super scalable. Now across the businesses and across all the geographies, RPA performs a massive amount of operations in parallel from desktop to cloud environments. Additionally, we can say robots can also be deployed quickly with minimum amount of cost, adding to work flux and seasonality. And the last one is the increased speed and productivity. So employers are the first to appreciate the benefits of RPA because they are reducing their monotonous work and they can actually work for value added activities now. So therefore, they always say that RPA is always favorable for us. So let me have the key takeaways for you. Now, just go through this. You have 10 seconds. So till then, let me have Ayush has written a query. While claiming the insurance, we need to provide all information to the robot. Then it will solve or mail to the person regarding his or her queries. Now, Ayush, whenever you claim all the required details via mail, the robot will simply mail you back whether your claim is approved or not. Now, it may happen that your car has bumped because of your mistake. In that case, sometimes the insurance is not getting approved, or insurance also has some of the rules. Maybe if this is your car and if your car bumps from here, so your claim is approved only from front and back side. You cannot claim this side and the side of the car together. So such claims are rejected, and all of this would be automated by the RPA tool. Then Nandan says margin of errors can vary across various sectors when using RPA. That would mean that its benefits vary. Well, yes, whenever you are talking of machine, if it is a pure software automation task, then the results are really very good. But like this task where you are talking of maybe insurance claim where the images could be misleading, in that case chances are high that if the robot doesn't find it apt, it may directly reject the claim. So of course, the simple irony of this is your claim still has to be assessed by human beings, but they really need not go into the nitty gritty details of each and everything. When will they go into the detail if the claim is really having a very huge amount? For small claims, let the robot does the daily task for us, and for huge claims, human intervention is of course required. Then one more key takeaway for you guys. Next 10 seconds. Now going ahead, so we have automation is really the future of the work. It is helpful in improving the efficiency. It can drive down the cost. It can make work more inspiring. We can think automation first. Now we also have to understand that with a robot for every person, how much more could we really achieve? So adopting an automation first mindset is the first step to the path of making digital transformations in your enterprise. Thinking automation first enables your company to move faster, more effectively. It also helps them to serve your customers better. You can have the things operated more efficiently, and it also unburdens your employees from the regular day-to-day mundane repetitive tasks, allowing them to focus on solving problems and creating values. The last few slides over here, the automation first has three pronged approach. The first one is a robot for every person. So RPA is not actually killing the jobs. It is actually creating an assistant for each of the person. So just like, let me give you an example, as Bill Gates envisioned a world with a PC for every desktop, right? So every desktop would be replaced by a PC. Similarly over here, RPA envisions a world with a robot for every person. So when every worker has a robot to help with the regular day-to-day tasks, it is going to free that worker to use the time for higher order or higher level works. And the workers, because of this, feel less stressed and become happier and more productive. The second one, it is open and free collaboration. Now in business, the cooperation and the competition are deeply codependent. So if you talk of technologies also, they can also work together and can also work with people. Ideas can always mix and mingle and they can create magic for people. So just by facilitating all of these unions, we can have an open and free collaboration approach to nurture automation first to accelerate the human achievement. And the last one which we have is robot also learns skills. By that we mean that in RPA we are enabling the robots to learn new skills through artificial intelligence and machine learning. So just imagine when my AI is incorporated with RPA. So RPA will now understand. So like sometime before I gave you an example and many of you had the same question that how is AI ML going to be used in RPA? So let me give an example. Let me just turn on my pen over here. Okay, so I'm just considering, for example, let's say this is I'm very sorry, I don't have a pen right now with me. Let's say this is a car and this car has dashed onto some surface and this person happens to claim for this particular car. Now while claiming, what is the person going to do? This person is going to take the images of the damaged car, and after taking the images he is going to post it or he is going to email it to the company. The company is going to go through the email, and after going through the email the company is going to revert saying that the claim is approved or not approved. Now as I told you sometime before, this task can be done by robotic process automation. This is clear to all of us that RPA can do this task for us because the things are automated. But as I told you that RPA can also commit errors over here. What is going to happen is whenever a customer sends a mail to this, it may happen that RPA says that okay, the claim is approved, but the claim of the customer is actually not worth approving. Now in that particular case, my RPA as a tool is going to fail. So it is not going to be 100% accurate. But just imagine if we have artificial intelligence also incorporated with my RPA. what is my AI going to do? Whatever images of the car that this customer has sent, it is going to have a good scan of those images, see how much depth of the dent is, and accordingly come to a conclusion whether these images are genuine or fake. So maybe the customer says that the car bumped onto the wall and because of that the damage occurred. But after analyzing the images, we found that this damage was not because of this, but maybe because of some other activity which could not be passed in the claim. Now, how will that activity be analyzed? For that, we require artificial intelligence. And why? How is artificial intelligence? How is AI going to be implemented over here? What is AI going to do is AI is going to keep a track of all such peoples who are claiming false records in this. So let's say AI is going to look into the database like how many customers like this particular customer has previously sent such type of images and how many of them were genuine, and depending on that all of the scenarios AI is going to predict whether the claim has to be approved or not. So the role of AI is going to simply take the images that are given by the RPA system or the RPA robot, process that images and tell back to the robot whether the claim should be approved or not approved. And RPA robots takes the result back and throws it back to the customer. So now the customer will not be able to pass any fraudulent claims. All the genuine claims only will be passed. That is the advantage of RPA, guys. So this is where we have RPA used. The next one is, okay, I will have to clear this. Automation first vision. Now, companies leveraging an automation first mindset will unlock the maximum potential for an automated enterprise. Now, this is what the famous magazine of IT, which is called as Gartner, says. This is called as hyper automation, and this will dominate their competitors. That is, the companies will be dominating their competitors because they are faster, they are more efficient, more adaptable, and have unlocked more human resources to innovate and outthink the competition. Lastly, where are robots extending today? Now, robots are quickly extending today in the era of artificial intelligence, which allow the robots to make decisions and predictions. The example of insurance, which I just give you now. So, AI will be helping this robots to make decision. What is robotic process automation? It is simply doing repetitive tasks. So, just by doing repetitive tasks, one cannot take a decision whether the claim has to be approved or not approved. But if AI is incorporated in this repetitive task, it can now take better and wiser decisions for us. So therefore, we see that the scope and the applications of RPA are endless. Now, coming on to the last two slides, top three industry leading RPA tools. Before that, RPA tool is an instrument that helps implement robotic process automation, or to simply say it is used to create a robot. So why did I say over here top three industry leading RPA tools? It is for a very simple reason that currently there are more than 60 tools. There are more than 60 tools that offer RPA implementation. They differ in their placement, position, in the RPA industry, or the solutions they offer, their pricing, and therefore sometimes it really becomes difficult to choose the right one. Now the main factors that should be taken into now the main factors that we need to take into account while looking into RPA should be depending on what type of business do you have, what is the specialization of it, how much diversified it is, and whether RPA can provide solution to this, and the most important thing, whether it will be beneficial for my pocket and can I afford it. So depending on all these things, as I told you, there are more than 60 tools available, but three of them are leading. Which are these three? The first one is the RPA UI path. Now, the project that we are going to see just in a while, in next 2 minutes, is going to be built using RPA UI path. Next one is Blue Prism, and the last one is Automation Anywhere. Now, all of these three have their community editions available free of cost, where you can study and learn about these RPA tools. Now, as a if you are very new to RPA and if you want to start learning RPA, then I suggest you start with UiPath. After UiPath, you should go to Automation Anywhere and then you can go to Blue Prism. So the order will be 1, 3 and 2. Now, the last one, trends in the RPA tool. As I told you, these are the three things, and let us see the trends over here. So for that, I'm just diverting to this website. So I have clicked over here. Let me open it in the browser. Okay, that should open. Okay, so this is a simple website, trends.google.com. Let us search over here. UI path. Search this term. Now, after searching, I don't want it for Brazil. I want it for worldwide. I don't want it for past 12 months, but I want it right from 2004 till today. And these all things I am keeping it normal. So we can see the graph of RPA that after 2016 there is a good jump in the RPA, right? Now let us also add something new over here. So the next one, as I told you, is my Blue Prism. So I have this term Blue Prism, and now you can see UiPath is leading compared to Blue Prism. Let's add one more. We have Automation Anywhere. So if you look at this graph, as I told you, UiPath is actually leading the battle compared to Blue Prism and this worldwide. Now let us check it for our country. So I say India, and this is the statistics of India. You can see in India also UiPath is leading. So you can see at any point in time, even if I consider this point in February 2020, RPA UiPath users were 100, Blue Prism was 19 and Automation Anywhere was 44. And that is the reason I told you that initially start with UiPath, then go for Automation Anywhere, and lastly you can go for the Blue Prism. Now if you go down, you can see over here, this is sub-region wise breakup. If you want to see what is the breakup in Madhya Pradesh, and everywhere you can see the blue bar, that is for UiPath is leading, right? Be it in Tamil Nadu, be it in Maharashtra, everywhere we see that the blue bar is leading. Let's say I go ahead in Delhi also, being the capital of India, it is leading. Okay, and going further ahead, so everywhere we see in Himachal Pradesh, which of course we don't count, but the here we see that Blue Prism is leading and the records are just 3. So in this way, further more exploration can be done as we go down, and you can see lot more details, but let's not go into all that. I just wanted to show you that Google Trends also say that RPA UiPath till date is leading. Now coming to the project. So now let me show you the project. Now how do we do this? I already have this project developed over here. I am opening this for you. Now this is going to be just a wait and watch activity for all of you. So I have opened my RPA UI path. It's getting loaded. So this is something which I have already built by spending almost more than 3 hours. But once you are pro in this, it will not take more than 1 to 1.5 hours. It takes some time. Till then, let me go through your comments. If you have any queries, just let me know. Yeah, Gujarat full of automation. RPA UiPath is free, Ayush. You can download it from UiPath website. So, yes, I'll be closing this. Now, this is the project. You can see it has a total of 6 actions, right? I'll explore this further. So, following are the things that I have done over here. I have opened a browser, read range, blah blah blah. I am not going to explain all this. This is going to take a very huge amount of time. I'm simply going to run this project and show it to you. So what is the project going to be? The CSV file which I showed you at the start, it is going to copy and paste the record from the CSV file to the company website. Now this is a dummy company website, rpachallenge.com, and you can see how the things go. Now the moment I click on this debug file button, after that I am not going to do anything on the keyboard. So trust me, my hands are going to be totally away and the entire task would be done by the robot. So now in the next 3 seconds, I am clicking on this button. 3, 2, 1, 0. So I am totally out of it. Now automatically the robot is going to start a browser for me. As you can see, this website automatically got opened. The start over here got clicked automatically, as you saw at the bottom. It is entering the first name, it is entering the last name, it is entering the company name. So you see the red boxes over there? It is initially highlighting the field and then the text field for that. So it is finding for email. After finding for email, it inserts the email and you can see it has clicked on submit. Then it is finding first name, finding last name, submitting one by one. Now this is the challenge and we are currently in round 1. It is automatically getting done and this is going to take, I think this record entering will take minimum 3-4 minutes from now. But you can see these are the records which are copied from the same CSV file which I showed you at the start of this meetup. So, and did you understand the beauty of this? Even though first name, address and all such fields are continuously swapping their positions, still my RPA tool is able to capture it. What do you really mean by that? I want to say over here that let's say the company has one type of version and we had trained our robot for doing that particular version. But the company came with an update onto the website and all the fields are now scattered. So do we need to revamp the application, revamp the robot? Obviously not. We can train the robot to search for that field, that text, and it can do the task for us. That is the power of robotic process automation. So we can see over here that how beautifully the records are getting written, and just imagine if a human had to do all this task. I am very sure human will never be able to do the task, at least at this phase, at this pace. And this task can be further fastened depending upon the capacity of the computer. Now I have a very small GPU on my system and that is the reason I don't get that much power. But if you really have a strong GPU, all the things can be really faster. Satyajit, a very good question. In which language do we need to code? That is the beauty of RPA. You don't require any coding. It is simply a drag and drop application. But it's not that easy also as what you are thinking. But trust me, there is no coding. Then Munir Basha says, what is the salary of a fresher and experience? Now, this totally depends on the company. For a fresher, the salary starts somewhere around 4 to 4.5 lakhs, and for an experienced person, it depends on how good he is in his skills. Now, still you can see I have not touched the computer, everything is getting automated. So, let this robot do his task, till then we can chit chat now. So, but what happened if the field name is changed? Yes. So, as Srikant says, if the field name is changed, and then I'm sorry, my friend, my robot will not be able to do it, because you have trained your robot to find that field name and insert text in that field name. So, if that gets changed, it is not going to help you. But yes, if the first name is written totally in small cases, then we can handle that scenario. But if you change first name to F name, then you have to change the robot variable name. Then there is absolutely no option. So that is the limitation. Duration of study to learn RPA, I think 2 to 3 months is more than sufficient. So you can see, yes, as Dollar said, it is like a magic. And you can see how much time, see, our record is submitted, it has said congratulations, your success rate is 100%. Now I am actually touching the system. Okay, now I am touching my mouse. 70 out of 70 fields are filled in 219765 milliseconds, and we can also download the Excel file from here, or we can reset and start the project. That is the beauty of RPA. So all the data entry tasks from the CSV file to Excel is automated. Now, even if you increase the number of records in your CSV file, it is going to be a cakewalk for the system. We just have to start the project, and it is going to scan that CSV file rigorously without committing even a single mistake. So, sir, any courses offered by your team for the same? Yes, Let's Upgrade will definitely help you with this. I am always available with them. RPA support desktop like POS machine. Yes, I am doing it from my desktop only. I am using my own laptop. So yes, it supports. Absolutely no problem with this. Now I am closing this. I want to stop this execution. You can see this project got executed, and these are the activities that it did. You can see here, call execution started, first name was read, last name was read, data was entered, then once again new data got entered, so on and so forth. All of this activity got documented over here. Now let me stop this. RPA projects in UiPath are always documented by .xaml extension, XAML. Now coming on to the conclusion of this. Trends in the RPA tool is done. So Daniel Dines, he is the co-founder and CEO of UiPath. He says, maybe it's not a game changer for your organization. Maybe it's a game changer for the entire society. So just imagine the power of robots and AI combined together can really create magic for us, right? So till now we were focusing on AI ML, saying that they really do wonder for us, but combining AI ML with RPA is going to create bigger wonders or really magic for us. So that's all we have for today's webinar, guys. If you have any more questions, we have next few minutes for it. So there is a question saying that RPA, sir, then it is of the kind mandate for RPA to run AIML as a part of the course. Yes, it is always advisable, Palani. Then Madhu says difference between Pega and RPA, they are almost the same. I am not very much into Pega, so I cannot really tell you what's happening over there. in the Pega part, but Pega is also an intelligent automation tool. Then okay. Thank you. As informed, without coding, it can be even no need of yes, dollar. Absolute no coding is required. When it comes to automation anywhere, there you require some coding, but for UI path, you require 0% coding. Take it from me, 0%. Fine. So with this, guys, is the free trial version available to be downloaded? Yes, it is available to be downloaded. You can download it from the UI path. Community edition is available, that can be downloaded anytime. So thank you very much, guys. With this, I am stopping the stream for today. See you again. Bye bye. Good day.